Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca. I am your community nurse. Thank you for coming to the second meeting today. Please take your seats. The PowerPoint presentation will begin soon. Today's education session is about tobacco consumption's harmful effects on youth and how we can enhance tobacco abstinence. We will evaluate the initial plan to see how it can improve. The first step is the most important. I am so proud you showed up today. It is the most challenging part and you did it. We will meet weekly after school to review the plan, assess the progress, and make any necessary changes. This group will be a source of support to help keep you accountable and motivated. Invite any friends or people from your support group to join. This group is a safe space. Everything that is said remains confidential. Please respect and treat your peers how you would like to be treated. Many emotions may come out during this process. Our school counselor, Deborah, will be present at all meetings if you need her. Before we evaluate the plan, I want to review the facts that we discussed last week. As a group, we used evidence-based research and Healthy People 2030 to make information flyers about tobacco use and its harmful effects. We also chose 3 of the most common health diseases tobacco can cause that we will discuss today. Let's recap. Who can define what is considered a tobacco product? Me. Maria, why don't you tell us? Well, a tobacco product could be cigars, cigarettes, hookah, dissolvable forms, chewing forms, gels, smokeless kind of tobacco, the sip, the snus, the vapes, the e-cigarettes. There's so many different types of electronic forms of tobacco. Thank you, Maria. There's many forms of tobacco. We also saw that the youth is at risk for smoking for different factors. Some of them is being white, being male, living in a rural area, having parents who smoke or with lower educational levels, or having friends who smoke. We discovered that 5.6 million Americans under 18 will die prematurely because of smoking-related conditions. Using tobacco products can cause death and many chronic diseases that people struggle to live with. These diseases include not only death, but cancer, heart disease, stroke, diabetes, respiratory issues like bronchitis or emphysema, vision problems, erectile dysfunction, and immune system issues. Healthy People 2030 reported that 16 million Americans today live with these diseases because of smoking. The 3 we chose as a group to focus on are COPD, cardiovascular disease, and cancer. Let's start with COPD, or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Smoking or exposure to secondhand smoke at a young age might hinder the growth and maturation of the lungs, which can heighten the likelihood of acquiring COPD as an adult. COPD is usually caused by smoking, but not everyone who has COPD is related to smoking. The CDC defines chronic obstructive pulmonary disease as a disorder producing airflow obstruction and difficulty breathing. It's a group of disorders. It includes emphysema, bronchitis, and sometimes asthma. The best prevention is to not start smoking at all, to quit smoking, and to stay away from secondhand smoke. Secondhand smoke is breathing in smoke that comes out of tobacco products. Community resources for people with COPD are the American Lung Association, the COPD Foundation, and Better Breathers Club, which is a group that meets every second Thursday if they want an in-person support group. We see that the American Lung Association helps people learn more about the disease and provides information about peer support groups and offers a helpline to connect with clinicians if they have questions. The COPD Foundation is a great resource to connect with other COPD patients, and it also provides a lot of information. It also helps with transitions and struggles of the disease. Cardiovascular diseases include heart disease and stroke. Smoking is a significant cause of cardiovascular disease, accounting for 1 of every 4 cardiovascular disease fatalities. Heart diseases comprise changes in how your heart beats and the flow of blood to and from the heart. For example, it can cause heart attacks or heart failure. A stroke occurs when the blood supply to the brain is blocked or when a blood vessel in the brain bursts, causing brain tissue to die. If the stroke does not kill the person, it can leave them with paralysis, issue with their muscles, the way they speak, or their memory. Smoking damages and changes to the composition of the blood vessels and the consistency of the blood that flows through it. Those are smoking damages and how it changes that. It can make the blood stickier, and stickier blood causes blockages to the heart or the brain. Interventions to avoid getting this is to avoid smoking to begin with, stop smoking, avoid secondhand smoke, controlling your blood pressure, and limiting alcohol use, among other healthy lifestyle changes. Resources that are available to these individuals are the American Heart Association. The Center Disease Control and Prevention has a page of heart disease that has a lot of valuable resources. The Heart Foundation, National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute as well. The chemicals in tobacco damage our DNA, which can cause cancer to grow. And those same chemicals weaken the body's immune system, so it is too weak to kill cancer cells. Cancer is a group of disorders in which malignant cells develop uncontrollably and can infiltrate other tissues. Lung cancer is the leading cause of death of all types of cancers. Annually, 7,300 people who don't even smoke die from lung cancer related to secondhand smoking. Smoking or secondhand smoke exposure causes 9 out of 10 lung cancer fatalities. Interventions are the same. It is to not initiate smoking, stop smoking, avoid secondhand smoking, and getting screened for cancer. That is, if you have been smoking for many years. You feel free to speak to your doctor about that. Resources for cancer patients are the Cancer Care, cancercare.org, the American Lung Association, and Longevity. These are all great community resources with information and support. The FDA has the jurisdiction to control tobacco product development, distribution, and promotion. The Tobacco Control Act mandates that marketing and sales to minors are prohibited, and warning labels for smokeless tobacco products are required. Claims are supported by scientific evidence, and ingredient disclosure in tobacco products is required. For example, it requires smokeless tobacco products to state that it causes mouth cancer, gum disease, and tooth loss. Another example is that it does not let distributors sell packages with less than 20 cigarettes or vending machine sales. The minimum age for buying tobacco products in New Jersey is 21 years old. The sale of all flavored vapor products is prohibited. What an excellent policy, because the flavoring attracts more youth and makes it seem like smoking is less threatening. Healthy People 2030 initiative concentrates on preventing individuals from using tobacco products and assisting them in stopping. Last week, many of you shared the reasons that you use tobacco products. Most said it was because of stress or pressure from media or friends. Healthy People 2030 also reported that most adults smoke started when they were younger. Because this is the age when most youth starts, the goal is to prevent the initiation of tobacco use in adolescence. For those who already use tobacco products, to decide a good strategy to eliminate. Based on Healthy People 2030, the planning priority will focus on decreasing the initiation of tobacco use and exposure to secondhand smoke, and for the people who are smoking, to boost successful quitting attempts. Let us evaluate the goals we set last week. We aim to find a coping mechanism that works best when feeling the urge to use tobacco products. The anonymous survey you all took before sitting down shows that many struggle to find something that works for them. When triggered, it is essential to have a healthy coping mechanism so another unhealthy habit is not the replacement. At the end of class, pamphlets will be on the table on your way out with some healthy coping mechanisms. Review them at home. Next week as a group, we will further discuss it to see if we can each individually find what's the best healthy coping mechanism that works for us. Now let us evaluate the individual goals. Does anyone want to volunteer so we can evaluate their goals as a group? Yes, Mariana, thank you for volunteering. Let us evaluate the short-term SMART goals we made. Mariana's initial goal for using the vape pen was to only use it 3 times a day after meals, and so far she has maintained that. The goal will progress to using the vape pen only 2 times a day after meals for the next week. Mariana attended a social event, and the goal of only taking 2 pulls from the hookah was unsuccessful because her friends were competing to see who can take the most pulls. After speaking with Mariana, we established that the best way to adjust the goal is to not attend social events where hookah or other tobacco products will be used for the next 30 days. Mariana has chosen her mom and her boyfriend as part of her support system for one of her goals, and she will continue to journal any triggers that arise over the next 3 months. There are ethical implications when deciding and creating plans for everyone. Ethical principles in healthcare ensure that each person receives treatment in their best interest and safety. With tobacco use cessation, we can encourage you to do what is best for your health, but because of your right of autonomy to make your own decisions, we cannot obligate you to. Practicing these ethics is part of beneficence, to do everything in your best interest. Using Mariana as an example, I cannot force her to not go to a hookah party or to not hotbox in her friend's car, but I can teach her why that's harmful for her health and encourage her to make healthy choices. It is a benefit to review the harmful effects of tobacco products, the number of lives that are lost, and the tragic disease that accompanies tobacco use are preventable. Policies are in place to help restrict the selling and marketing of tobacco products. However, many other factors influence adolescents and teens to use. Awareness of the dangers and having a smart goal in place will help abstain from tobacco use. It is imperative to remember that the one intervention from the diseases we reviewed was to avoid secondhand smoke because it can cause the same health damages. Using the support and resources given, it is possible to live a long and happy life away from tobacco. It was great to see you all come out and love your bodies enough that you want to make a change. I will see you all here next Friday at the same time. Remember to take a pamphlet on your way out. And then here are my resources.